back at it with the poor man's angle kit. This is the last video in the series, so this will cover everything else. Last video we installed E90 inner tie rods. Right now we're about to do some E46 lower control arms. The only thing I was waiting for were conversion mounts. What we have here are Condor Speed Shop's lower control arm mounts for this specific swap. What this does is, instead of modifying your E36 lollipops to fit the E46 lower control arm or vice versa, you can just use this bad boy with the correct size bushing, and it mounts in the E36 location utilizing the E46 like end, I guess you could say. I don't really know what the word for that is. We've got our bushings installed. I've got the passenger side or the right side lower control arms chilling in the vise right now, and what I'm going to do here is hammer the shit out of this until it goes on. That's pretty much the only way to do it. Using like a rag or something to kind of protect the paint a little bit, not that it matters, it's more just personal preference. Finally got the bushing at least started, or the mount, I guess you could say. As you can see, lots of damage there. Nothing like that matters, it's just, you know, the paint isn't there anymore. But unless you have a hydraulic press, that's gonna be literally the only way you're getting that piece on there. So I'm gonna hammer this the rest of the way on there, basically till it gets down to like this point here. It'll kind of stop itself, but got a ways to go here. There it goes. It's kind of close. With the control arm just barely poking through that bushing, like it's pretty much flush with the top of this right now. It's still a little bit off. I just went and mocked it up. So basically you are gonna want to get this thing pretty much all the way down. The first thing I'm gonna start with is just removing the sway bar from the lower control arm, which is a 16mm bolt. All right, and then that'll just rotate up and out of the way. There she goes. Get that nut the rest of the way off. And boom. There's a nut on top of here, right next to the motor mount. There's a 22mm socket for this guy up here. For this joint here, it's the same idea. You'll just take your pickle fork to it. That came out really easy. We got 2 more bolts on that lollipop there. There she goes. And there she goes. Driver side lower control arm has been removed. Got the mount close to where I think it needs to be. So I'm gonna kind of mock this thing up and see if there's any other editing that I have to do. So this is where we run into a problem. The mount is making contact with the chassis right there. So you got these indents here, and these go inside here, basically as like a locator, and they're pretty close. But as you can see, like a little bit more needs to come off so that this can shift to the right just a little bit. All right, let's see how that does. So we just took a little bit more off. So now let's see if it'll fit. It's definitely close. You can see it a little bit. I think I might be able to sneak the bolts in there and it'll kind of press itself the rest of the way in. Yep, I think it's gonna work. You can kind of see there's still a gap there where those locators need to actually fit into this mount. And so as I'm tightening this, you'll see it actually just starts to set itself right into place. Just go kind of back and forth with it. Yep. Pressing itself right in there. Oh, nice. Got it on. There you go. What you got to do with that side is actually have it like dropped down just a little bit. That way you can fit your nut underneath the suspension. There you go. We got that started. We got that one started. I'm gonna get this tightened up and then continue on to the next step, which is gonna be modifying this sway bar so that we can use it on the lower control arms, which is pretty cool. What I'm gonna do is take this, swap it to the inside, so just flip this around, and then I'm gonna drill a hole right through here, and we'll be able to continue utilizing the stock sway bar. We've got both linkages swapped to the inside. What I just did was took a small drill bit, drilled a hole through there. It's pretty much gonna be in the same orientation as how this one's gonna be. So now I'm just grabbing a big drill bit that's just slightly bigger than that stud. I messed up a little bit drilling this hole. This ridge here, it's giving me problems, actually stopping me from being able to get it all the way down. So I'm gonna just shave part of it off with the good old grinder tool. Get it to thread on now. We're definitely making progress. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, that's fucking perfect. It's about as good as that's gonna get right there. It's cockeyed, like I said, but you're using your stock sway bar, so can you really complain? And if anything, you can always just drill a hole further over for it to be more straight up and down. It's really just up to you. What's interesting is this side has a hole already. I think I'm gonna have to drill this out a little bit bigger, if I remember correctly. So that might be the only thing that needs to happen. See how this is gonna fit. Oh yeah, look at that. Now yours will not look as fucked up as mine because you're gonna drill your hole in the right spot. I'm the guinea pig for you guys. Let's tighten this thing up. Tighten this one up. So there you have it. So at this point, I'm going to just actually fully tighten everything up. I mean, you're really done. All that you need to do at this point is just go with your tie rod ends and just mess with your alignment, your toe out specifically. That's what I'm about to do. If you want to save like $200, do not buy those mounts, and instead you can buy just a bushing to replace in this lollipop here, the stock mount for the lower control arm. So that's an option. You have installed the poor man's angle kit. So I hope that everybody was able to get some help from this, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm just gonna do some dialing in with the alignment here and then call it a day.